I used to have to micromanage every single date I would plan with my husband when we first started dating, and it was because not being in control literally made me feel like I was going to crash out. And it wasn't until I actually healed my chronic anxiety naturally after trying to go to talk therapy and try medication for 10 plus years and it did not work for me, I learned about regulating my nervous system. And without these three things, it probably would have been really difficult for me to regulate my nervous system, so let's dive into them. Number one is gut health. Healing my anxiety didn't just start in my brain, it started in my gut too. Your gut is connected to the brain. It's actually known as the second brain because it's connected through something called the vagus nerve, which is the longest cranial nerve in the nervous system. The bloat, the fog, the indigestion, the panic, it wasn't really just in my head, but it was in my body. That's why we typically need a shit when we have anxiety or you get constipated. It goes one way or the other, honestly. Balancing my blood sugar and also removing inflammatory foods from my diet, taking out the highly processed foods, removing seed oils, not only signals safety to my gut and to my body, it also decreases the amount of inflammation my body is having to deal with, allowing my nervous system to feel safer and more regulated. Number two is fostering safety in the body. No amount of mindset work is going to convince your body is safe unless you are actually addressing the physiological symptoms of danger and panic that are currently experienced in your body. I had to actually learn to come into my body and attune to what my body is needing instead of just forcing myself to do yoga at 6 o'clock in the morning because some Pinterest wellness girl told me to. I created safety in the body through breathwork, somatics, and nervous system education, and really creating an open and honest dialogue of what is currently going on in my body and what my body is needing. It definitely takes some time and experimentation, but once you start to learn what your body responds well with, creating safety in the body feels way easier and way more accessible. And last but not least, number three is detaching my identity from my core wounds. That's a big one. I used to think that I was anxious, that I was the anxious person who was constantly people pleasing, that had to be in control. That is a part of my identity that I associated with. I genuinely felt like I was just somebody who was too much and oversensitive. And a big part of this healing work is actually grieving the versions of yourself that you had to become in order to feel safe. Because the anxiety, the depression, the people pleasing is not a part of who you are, but it's just an aspect of what you were feeling in order to survive.